If I wanted to keep people stuck, stressed, unfulfilled, and angry, I wouldn't have to lock their body up. I'll put them in jobs they hate for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. That's the program. Same track, different setting. I had a manager once, back when I was driving trucks. It's 100 degrees outside. The truck I'm in, no AC. So I says, yo, why don't we drive the smaller ones right there? They'll get the job done. This dude looks me dead in my face and says, because you're a DOT driver, you follow the rules or you can go home. I hands him the keys and said, have a nice day. Another time, I'm working for this temp agency on the assembly line, making plastic caps. Same motion every day, all day. Like, bruh, I was so bored, almost fell asleep standing up. Like, coffee wasn't for energy, it was survival in that motherfucker. Like, tell me you never felt that, where it's like your soul is drained, but your body's still moving. That's when I realized some folks with titles ain't leaders. They don't want solutions. They don't want growth. They want yes men. John Maxwell said, he who thinks he leads but has no followers is only taking a walk. That's exactly what these so-called leaders were doing. Walking by themselves with the title on their chest, but nobody actually following. That's the program. It promotes bosses, not leaders. And if you let it, it'll trap you in dead end repetition till your spirit quits on you. I felt like my soul was clocking out way before my shift ended. That's the part nobody tells you. It's not just your time that gets stolen, it's your spirit. Fulfillment is the opposite of the program. Fulfillment comes from creating, from learning, from sharing with the ones coming up behind you. Even when my projects weren't paying me, they were paying me in peace. And that peace made me sharper at the job, at home, as a man. The program wants you drained. Fulfillment keeps you alive. Look, money matters. Don't get it twisted. But peace makes the money worth having. That's why I created the Elite Rules of Engagement, which is a framework to help you never get tricked out your spot again. And that framework has 4 simple steps to it. The first one is define. Define who you are. Not like in no big word type of way. No, just straight up. Am I the hothead, the hustler, or the man who's building legacy? You have to define it, or else society has already defined it for you. And if you don't define it, you'll always default back to your old self. Another thing is our brain loves repetition. That's why we love our habits. We love routines. Things like that we repetitiously do work well for us. This is why people who are in addictions, a lot of times they don't even get the high from the thing that they're addicted to anymore. It's more so that it's familiar. For instance, if you see someone who's always angry, they just always seem like they mad. Well, they kind of define themselves as that kind of person. So you always default back to your norm, especially when you're under pressure. You understand me? If you're someone with a short temper, any and every little thing is going to always and continue to set you off until you define a new pattern or a new vision for yourself. Number 2 is direction. Where are you going? No, really. Where? If you don't set a target, you'll keep circling the same block. You got a new girl, new job, new city, same cycle. You see, the program or society, I could say, loves when you drift. So you have to have a direction and stick to that direction and be dedicated to that direction. You got to know where you're going. You got to see the end goal in mind and take a step one day at a time, and continue to progress. I think it was Earl Nightingale. If you don't know who that is, look him up. Um, Back in the '60s, one of the greatest teachers back then. But he said success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, meaning a worthy goal. So set a direction and take a step each day. Progression. Number three, in the elite rules of engagement is discipline. Now, this ain't sexy, but it's proof that you're serious, right? Every rep in the gym, every page in the book, prayers in the morning. You see, consistency stacks. And over time, what that consistency does is give you confidence. You stop arguing with yourself. You start to believe in yourself. And that discipline, I feel like, discipline is the missing ingredient for most talented people. Even if you're not that talented, if you can be disciplined and have a direction, oh man, eventually, because we already know what we need to do. Most people who know they need to get in shape or want to get in shape, they know if they just eat a little better, eat a little less, and work out 3, 4, 5 times a week, then they'll be in better shape. The thing is just having the discipline to do it. Discipline is the foundation for anything really in life. So it's not sexy, but it's required. All right, the last one, number 4, is development. Feed your brain new game. So your brain is like a computer hard drive. If you don't update the software, the old code is going to keep running. And the new software is like new information, new books, podcasts, like this right here, what you're watching. That's the new code. That's how you update the software in your brain. And it's not a one-time fix all. We have to continue to progress. We have to continue to hear new perspectives and learn new things, right? Because we have this thing in life called entropy. Anything left to itself and by itself tends to go into disorder. You ever see if you just leave your car or your room to itself for months, even if you don't go in there, it starts to collect dust. Continue to get better and learn new things. If not, you'll be stuck on the 1.0 version of yourself forever. And that's not what we want. For me, it was never about being a boss. It was about being fulfilled, about building peace, about leaving my children tools, not trauma. That's what happens when you stop following false leaders and start living by your own code. You don't just survive the program, you beat it. Legacy over lies. That's the only scoreboard that matters. If this hits you, drop a comment. What's the time that you worked a job that was draining your spirit? Or are you currently working a job that you don't like too much and you're working to get out of it? How are you navigating this situation? Drop a comment inside the comment section and let's talk about it. Make sure you subscribe. We'll be dropping new game like this every week to help us defeat the program together. Let's get it. Until next time, stay true.